9 ghosts left of the premises. 2 on the first floor, 3 on the second floor. Here's some more science junk. Do I have any more?
You give all the ones you have at once.
Okay. Alright, 2 left on the first floor. So there's the one in the dining room.
Which you need to make a chili with no gun in it. And the one who wants pants.
Oh, right. Because he's in the kitchen. Okay. Alright.
Sorry, legless pants.
3 on the second.
You get to explore more of the third floor.
I know, but I just want to keep track of what all there is. So there's law person. Done in there. It's law person. Guest room lady.
She wants an eye.
Yeah. And
actually,
is there another person? Yeah, there's another person in here, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, this person. He wants a good exploding cigar. What other novelties did you invent?
Well, I invented a can of mixed nuts as a spring in it, so when you open it, the nuts spray out everywhere.
That's kind of funny.
Nobody would ever open the can because of how it said deadly venomous snakes on the label.
Anything else?
You know those flowers you wear in your lapel and it sprays water in someone's face when they smell it?
You invented that? That's a classic.
No, I tried to combine it with chewing gum made out of hot peppers.
You invented a boutonniere that maces people.
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
People seem to like those little sea monkey things, so I thought maybe I'd do that except funnier, and then I thought itching powder's pretty funny.
Made itching powder out of brine shrimp?
No, they're aquatic. It wouldn't work. I used spider eggs.
Oh my god. Anything else?
Tried to make an ultra-realistic stink bomb using pure methane gas. Turns out pure methane is actually odorless. That isn't why farts smell bad. Also, it's extremely flammable.
Anything else?
You know those fortune-telling fish, the little cellophane things that curl up in your hand to predict the future?
Sure.
I don't know how it happened, but mine were 100% accurate, and it was always terrible news.
Anything else?
Tried to improve on the classic rubber tricking.
Let me guess. Not rubber.
Good guess.
Anything else?
I once made some glasses that let you see through people's clothes.
Wow.
Right down to their skeletons.
Huh. Okay, well that's still pretty cool.
Except for the part where they get cancer, yeah. I've told you all the ones I can remember. I can tell them to you again if you want.
Nah, that's okay. Alright. Now I'm gonna go to the third floor. I just wanted to refresh my memory. Go to the third floor. Okay. Now I was starting from the far right. Kids' room's done in there. Music room. I'm gonna finish investigating the room first. This is a bassoon. You know what they say? It makes an ass out of N and... Boo!
Haha.
I think I got the achievement. Musty, decaying pile of old music books. Almost all the books are dry, rotted, and moth-eaten and fall apart at touch. You do find a copy of Dueling Banjos in reasonable shape, though.
Ah, a dueling book, which will probably lead you to your other dueling book for gun law.
Weird, it's blank. Blank sheet. Play Dueling Banjos. I can't play Dueling Banjos by myself. I don't have enough arms. Lawrence?
Sorry, I only play the bagpipes, not very well.
The bagpipe? How do you know? How about you, Susie?
Even if I could play the piano, I'm pretty sure two people can't play both parts of dueling banjos on the same piano. In fact, I reckon it might be straight up illegal to try.
You guys are no fun. This is the ghost of an orchestra conductor, unless he's a ghost of someone pretending to be an orchestra conductor. Either he's very agitated about something or he's conducting Flight of the Bumblebee. Sorry to interrupt, but I can't actually hear the music. What are you conducting?
It's the finale of the year 1812 Solemn Overture by Tchaikovsky.
Oh yeah, the 1812 Overture. Sure, that would have been my second guess. Is the orchestra like double ghosts or something?
What? I see, no. There is no orchestra. I merely have this piece of music irrevocably lodged in my head. It has been nagging at me incessantly ever since my death.
This is just a guess, but did you die during a performance of the 1812 overture?
That is correct, yes. Very astute of you.
And the finale of that piece features real actual cannons, right? Is that how you died?
If it was my fate to be slain by a piece of music, cannons would have been far preferable to my utterly farcical demise.
What happened?
The overture requires several cannons because it is impossible to load a single cannon quickly enough to fire as the score demands. However, the stage we were performing on could not have borne the weight.
What did you do?
I was not informed of the difficulty until it was far too late to make any changes. It transpired that the stage manager decided it would be sufficient to give a box of bullets to the tuba player.
You were shot by a tuba.
I was shot, as you say, by a tuba.
Wow, no wonder you ended up as a ghost.
Oh, it isn't the ridiculousness of my death that troubles me, really. Accidents happen, as with any other performing arts. A colleague of mine was decapitated by an errant cymbal during a performance of Paganini's Violin Concerto No. 1. As such are the risks we take for our art.
Gosh.
The problem is that the 1812's overture finale is a very dramatic and energetic piece. With this music constantly replaying itself in my head, I've been unable to find any peace.
I'll see if I can think of a way to help. Alright. Okay, second floor, library. You find the shelf where dueling banjos belongs and put it back. Previous book on the shelf is entitled Dual Law, which seems to be about legal issues surrounding dueling. Never knew when that might come in handy. Duly noted. Aha! Also, why do I have blank sheet music? What am I going to do with this? Alright. Okay, now to go back and talk to this person, see if I can get any more progress now.
If you have blank sheet music, surely it can be filled in with a different song.
Let's go.
You're back. Did you get a crash course in dual law?
I sure did.
Swell.
The only thing I didn't really understand is when it's legal to banish your opponent to the Shadow Realm.
Okay, well, that didn't come up in my case, so don't worry about it.
Great. Let me just do a quick review. A duel is legal provided it's between exactly two people at a specific prearranged time and place using the same or at least essentially similar weapons. And they have to either face each other down and quick draw at the appointed moment or do the 10 bases turn and fire routine. Is that right?
That's the gist of it, yes.
Gist.
Yes.
So I guess let's start with you telling me the facts of the case, and I'll interrupt you rudely if I have any questions.
Alright, but if you push me on some trivial nonsense, I'll get mad and you have to start over. This is Phoenix Wright!
That seems fair. Go ahead.
McCready and Tinsbury got into an argument in a saloon on the evening of June 17th. Apparently, Tinsbury accused McCready of cheating at poker.
I have questions.
Shoot.
Tell me more about the argument.
There isn't much to tell. The other players in the game had already folded their hands in that round, so they weren't paying very much attention. All we know is that Tinsbury suddenly accused McCready of being a dirty, cheating varmint, and McCready said Tinsbury was just sore because he'd been losing all night.
Did McCready have a history of cheating?
He'd been accused of it once or twice, but Reno's a gambling town, and he hung out in the rough part of it. Getting accused of cheating by a sore loser when you're on a lucky streak is par for the course.
But if McCready had a history of cheating...
It would be irrelevant because the reason for the duel is immaterial to the legality of the duel itself. Motive isn't an issue here.
But...
Remember how I warned you about taking me off with stupid digressions? This is an excellent example.
Objection!
What the...
This is extremely relevant. If McCready was a habitual cheater, it's likely he would have cheated in a duel as well.
And somehow you're going to prove to me that McCready was a habitual poker cheat 17 years after the fact. How exactly do you intend to accomplish that, Mr. Prosecutor? Even if you did somehow pull that off, it would be circumstantial evidence at best. You'd have to prove he had cheated in the duel itself, in front of witnesses. What form do you imagine this cheating took, pray tell?
Mirrors?
We're done here. Get out.
Okay, go on.
Bartender yelled at them to take it outside, but since it was dark out, they agreed to meet for the duel the next day.
And that would be the 18th, you said.
Yes, June 18th, 1878.
Okay, go on.
Well, the next day they both showed up shortly before noon and squared off about 30 feet from each other. When noon struck, McCready fired, fast enough that Tinsbury didn't get his shot off on account of having his head shot off. That's pretty much the long and short of it.
I'm gonna have to ask for some more details on that.
Go ahead.
What weapons were they using?
McCready had a .45 caliber single-action army revolver. Tinsbury had an older model, a 36 caliber cap and ball Navy revolver, which he loaded with paper cartridges instead of packing the gunpowder by hand.
Objection! Those are significantly different weapons.
Are you kidding me? They're both pistols.
A modern cartridge revolver versus an anti-cap and ball loader? Ridiculous!
That antique was in production until 1873 and was considered one of the most reliable and popular six-shooters in the territories. Furthermore, the restriction against different weapons in a duel is about pistols versus rifles or the proverbial knife in a gunfight. Or, as a more recent example, a nitwit trying to argue law against a professional attorney.
Jeez, that's a bit harsh.
We're done here. Get out.
No! Boo! I have a question here. Why didn't they just fight right then?
Because it was dark. You can't have a gunfight in the dark.
No, I get that. They could have just had a regular old fist fight. They were mad enough to shoot each other to death, but not to punch each other?
Well, without getting too psychoanalytical, these guys were gunfighters. I mean, they counted that as a significant part of their identity. Fighting without guns was just outside their wheelhouse. They considered it a waste of their time and talents, like asking a fancy French chef to make you a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's fair, and let me ask something else. Did they set a specific time for the duel?
Yes, high noon.
Figures. Why is it always high noon?
Tradition, I suppose. Since the sun is at its highest in the sky, everything's brightly lit and there aren't many shadows. That's good for gunfight.
Makes sense.
Plus, you could have your duel on your lunch break.
Let me ask something else. Why didn't they just not fight?
What?
Well, the fight breaks out in the heat of the moment. That's one thing. They cool off enough to schedule a meeting for the next day and still go through with it? A card game is a heck of a thing to get killed over.
It's an honor thing, I suppose, that and they were each confident that they wouldn't be the one getting killed. Yes, it's dumb, but it's also extremely immaterial. Toxic definitions of masculinity and the general lawlessness of the frontier are not what's on trial here.
Fair enough. What happened next? Shortly before
But the next day, they broke...
Yep. You start over. Start from the beginning. I have questions here. What day of the week was this?
Monday, June 17th, 1878.
Well, that makes sense. Everyone's always a bit grumpy on a Monday.
Uh-huh.
They should make the weekend Sunday and Monday instead. Then you could spend Monday relaxing instead of having to go back to work.
But then... whatever. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah. What was the name of the saloon?
The Two-Headed Horse.
Weird. Did they have one?
No, I think the proprietor was just going for a sort of double entendre, but it doesn't really work.
Huh. No, it really doesn't. Two-headed spider, maybe, but...
Anyway, do you have other questions, or can we get on with this?
Go ahead. Agree with me for a duel. Okay, go on. More details on this. You said there were witnesses.
About half a dozen of them watching from across the street or peeking through half-open shutters.
Were they interviewed?
Yes, and their stories lined up with what I just told you.
Were any of them known associates of McCready?
I'm not aware of any of them being actual friends with McCready, but he was a local and a lot of people knew him.
She gives you a suspicious look.
Wait a minute, just where are you going with...
Objection!
Oh, come on.
Any one of those people could have interceded on McCready's behalf.
What, and done what exactly?
Well, they could have shot Timsfield with a more accurate weapon like a rifle, or...
Then there'd have been 2 gunshots instead of just 1, or are you suggesting they shot him with a poison blow-down dart?
Well, was he tested for poison?
Get out.
I'm not leaving. I'm cartwheeling my way back over to you, bitch.
For the record, you are trying to get as much information as possible so that then you can go look some of it up and come back and go, ha!
Okay. Questions. I did that. Tell me more about the argument. Greedy. No, what happened next? Question. Did all that.
For the record, you've asked all the questions about the first and second parts of the story. You just need to ask the last few about the third part.
He fired exactly at noon.
Yes, as soon as the church bell started ringing.
You also mentioned McCready's pocket watch.
Yes, he had a fancy pocket watch that chimed on the hour. Is that important for some reason?
Objection! McCready had been accused of cheating in the past, and this time he was!
What are you even talking about?
All he had to do was set his watch a few seconds early.
That doesn't make any sense. He didn't shoot early. He shot when the church bells rang. That's verified by witness testimony.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he used the watch to warn him when the church bells were about to ring. A 5-second get ready alert would have given him a huge advantage in reaction time. Heh, what do you say to that, counselor?
You know, I'll give you that one. That's not bad. There's just two problems with that argument.
Oh, what?
Firstly, you're just guessing. You have no evidence.
Well...
And secondly, even if McCready was using that trick, which he may as well have been, he was pretty clever, it wouldn't be illegal.
What?
There's nothing in dual law prohibiting the use of minor strategies like that. So long as McCready didn't fire before the appointed time, it's all above board. Nice try, Mr. Prosecutor, but I think you better think about this case a bit more before trying again.
Pushes you out of the gallery and shuts the door behind you. Well, nuts. Well... So at this point, I basically need to find something that proves that what he did was illegal or something.
Yeah, I admit I had to look this up at a certain point. I don't remember if this was it.
Music room,
What would you think if Phoenix Wright were like this? I know it's not far off, but this is like, nah, bitch, details.
That's Mrs. Gunn. That's Mr. Gunn. Mr. Gunn's manliness room.
Man.
The smell of it, Mr. Gunn mostly burned garbage in this thing. It's a humidor full of cheap cigars. The guy doesn't notice you approaching until you're right next to him. He yelps in surprise and drops his glass on the floor, then squints unsteadily at you. Then he takes a maraschino cherry from a bowl in the bar cart and throws it at your head. Hey, stop that!
Sorry, just making sure you're not one of them ghosts.
Drops another cherry into a fresh glass and pours a lot of whiskey on top of it. Are you one of the museum employees?
Yep, that's me.
What are you doing in here?
Buddy, I don't know if you didn't notice, but this house has ghosts in it.
You don't say.
Whole bunch of them all over, so I don't know about you, but I'm staying right here where it's nice and safe.
Wouldn't you rather get out of here?
Nah, all the booze I'm really scared of when ghosts go boo, you know. They'll get me if I leave this room.
There aren't any ghosts between this room and the exit.
So you said, that's what you said, but they're ghosts. They could be anywhere.
Except in here.
Exactly. I ain't leaving without a guarantee that the ghosts won't grab me on the way out.
Here, look, we'll use this white shower curtain to disguise you as a ghost. Then they won't bother you on your way out.
That's a mighty fine idea, but,
He tosses back his drink and pours another.
eye holes. The curtain's got no holes for my eyes. I won't be able to see.
Starting to think you don't actually want to leave.
No, what gave that idea? It's terrible in here.
You narrow your eyes at him and blast some holes in the curtain with your pistol.
Okay, jeez, I get the picture.
He grabs an armload of bottles from the cart, pulls the shower curtain over his head, and staggers out the door. Good. Alright. Alright, so over here... Wow, you hope you never meet a live duck this big. Got an eye. Cool. Now I know what that's for. Like a bowling trophies. There's a goblin head mounted like a trophy on the wall. This would be positively barbaric if not for the fact that the goblin seems pretty okay with it.
Ooh, ha ha ha. Pretty good I am getting to you, huh, human?
Wow, yes, very much to getting me.
Nice.
What is it happening to you? Did Mr. Gunn hunting you and to cutting head off?
No, Mr. Gunn, a good human man, is being very friends. Inside one of his bowling ball bags my spores are growing, only headroom. Mr. Gunn to finding me and hanging me up here for to chatting with. Great guy.
Wow, weird. Tell us this fake, as it isn't floating around the room setting stuff on fire. This ghost is dressed up as a traditional safari hunter, with the pith helmet, a big white mustache, and those weird khaki trousers that make it look like your butt has wings. He's inspecting Mr. Gunn's trophy collection, but doesn't seem particularly impressed. Hi, I'm Maximus Ryan.
Oh, charms, I'm sure. Lord Houston Camden at your service.
What happened to you, if you don't mind my asking?
No, not at all, though it isn't a very exciting story, what? I was hunting lions on the plains of the Serengeti, and one of the blighters got the better of me.
Wow, you were eaten by a lion? That sounds pretty exciting to me.
Yes, well, not eaten as such. Sneaky bugger crept into camp and pushed a stack of ammunition crates over on me.
Oh, maybe I could help you?
Help me do what?
Well, I'll help you with whatever's keeping you as a ghost. Now that I say it, I guess there isn't much I could do to help you get revenge on that lion.
Oh, no, it isn't revenge that's keeping me here. Go for that lion, I say. Turn out as fair play and all that, what? Though I do wish he'd done it in a manner that made for a better story.
So why are you a ghost, then?
Because of my one true regret. I never faced the most dangerous game.
I am definitely not going to help you hunt people.
What? No. The most dangerous board game. Nobody has ever willing to play against me. Bad shame, what?
What's the game? He leads you over to a small table, on which is laid out a board of alternating red and black squares, with little wooden discs painted red and black as well. Checkers? The checkers jump and scatter as the ghost stabs two large hunting knives into the center of the board.
Knife checkers.
What are the rules?
Do you know how to play checkers?
Yes.
Do you know how to stab someone in the hand with a knife?
Yes.
That's all you need to know, really.
Alright, I'll play. You yank one of the knives out of the board and Lord Houston instructs you to hold it left-handed. The rules are you may only attack your opponent's hands and only when they are over the board. Displaced checkers are played from where they land, but attacking the board directly is a foul, which awards the opponent a stab-free turn. It appears to be primarily a game of concentration, quick movements, and feinting. Play aggressively. You start out the game by attacking quickly and fiercely to establish dominance and keep your opponent from developing his pieces. This strategy is somewhat effective, but Lord Houston doesn't scare easily, and he manages to feint a few pieces past your guard. You enter the mid-game more or less evenly matched. In the mid-game, you focus more on checkers than on your knife work, maneuvering you in position for some big gains in the long term. You suffer a few minor nicks and cuts, but are well positioned for the endgame. Lord Houston spots a hole in your defenses. He feints left, then quickly slides one of his pieces into the gap and into your trap. This moves his hand to just the position you need to attack it with a hard downward stab. He easily yanks his hand out of the way, and your knife hits one of your pieces on its edge, flipping it across the board to land neatly in his back rack. King.
I say, it's a foul to attack the board.
Sure, but I wasn't, was I? I attacked your hand and you dodged, that's all.
You sneaky blighter.
Play continues, but with a king behind Lord Houston's lines, you clean up fairly quickly.
All right, lad, I concede. Marvelous play, what? Well done.
He gives you a smart salute and fades away into nothingness. Whew!
I don't think I've ever done that accent before. I think I did quite well.
Yeah. I've got the eye that woman needs, so I'm actually going to go deliver that. Actually, there's still stuff here. Jesus. Oh boy. Oh yeah.
Did you see what the prompt was?
No.
Spoon, you got closer, just say, gibby. What are you doing?
Huh? Nothing. What are you doing?
Looking at someone who's kneeling next to a spittoon with the apparent intention of sticking his whole entire face into it.
Dive in! You jam your hand into the spittoon up to the shoulder and find nothing. The brass bucket is shiny and clean, outside and in. Clean as the day it was born. The museum staff must have washed it. It looks brand new.
Are you crying?
No! I'm fine! You're crying!
Okay, well, I'll just be over here when you're done lying on the ground in a fetal position and hugging a spittoon.
Fine! My life has no meaning anymore. Hang on, I have to make this say boo. Aw, damn it, I can't. Billiard. Q. Alright. What's up with you, buddy? Hey there, how's it going?
Interested chit-chat, fella, just billiard, shut up or skip up.
Pull out your cue and the ghost nods and racks the balls. He utterly trounces you. He just can't seem to make the balls go where you intended.
That was the saddest showing that I've ever seen. Let me see that cue. Yeah, that's your problem. Things about as straight as a banker's handshake.
What?
You're gonna need to lathe this back to true if you want a chance against me.
Lathe? I know where I can do that.
I'm glad you did. Whenever I did this, I had forgotten completely because I was like, that's a nonsense word.
I forget where, I know what it is I'm looking for, I just don't quite remember where it is. Was it in the cellar?
Stagecoach parking.
Ah, right. Lay. Boo! Ah! There we go. Now a balanced billiards cue. It's exactly the same as the fork, except the fork does extra damage against other things.
Sounds good.
Plus, it's fun to wield a fork. Alright.
I'm about to stick this in you because you're done.
Actually, hang on. There we go.
Hello again, dear. Were you able to find me a glass eye?
Yes, kind of.
How kind. Thank you very much.
She takes the glass eye from you and puts it in, whereupon it falls through her and onto the floor. She tuts as she picks it up.
Oh dear, it's a little too physical.
Yeah, I wasn't certain that this would work.
Don't worry, this is easily fixed. Do you have a hammer I could borrow?
A hammer? Yes?
That'll do nicely, thank you.
She takes the hammer, places the glass eye on her desk, and smashes it with a precise crack.
Ah, perfect.
She gives you back the hammer and plucks the ghost of the glass eye from the shattered fragments. After blowing the dust off it, she tucks it into her eye socket.
That fits much better.
Does it work?
Well, now you mentioned it, no, I can't actually see with it.
It is the ghost of a glass eye, after all.
Oh dear, this one to it all. What a shame.
You know, I don't really understand why your eye is still missing.
What do you mean?
Well, I always assume when someone loses an arm or something, it just sticks around as an arm ghost. That's why people say they can feel it itching sometimes, because you still got an arm there, but it's a ghost. It's even called phantom limb syndrome. So logically, if the rest of you becomes a ghost after that, it would hook right back up.
Then, where did my eye go?
Maybe it got pushed back inside your head? Ghost thinks about this for a second and then shakes her head.
No, that seems... Wait,
What?
I do think I felt something just then.
She shakes her head again.
My goodness gracious.
Keep going! It's like one of those puzzles where you try to get the marble in the hole. She bends her head forward and continues shaking it. You can almost hear a faint rattling sound and then a plop. She straightens back up, blinking with two eyes. You did it!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much, dear. I never would have thought of that.
No problem. Have a nice time in heaven or wherever. The ghost gives you a friendly wave and fades out of sight. Well, that's that then. That was an interesting way to solve that. Here's a glass eye. Doesn't work. Now, here's the ghost of a glass eye. Still doesn't work. The real eye has been in you all along. Alright, let's see what the fuck is going on here. Bowling is good. This is where the bowling balls would come out of if this thing was working. Yeah. Bowling stuff is extremely broken. It's not supposed to be flying around even a little bit. Is this something I'm supposed to fight, or is this another thing that I have to solve some other way?
I fought it once, and then you can press the button and it brings it back. It seems to be a grinding place, but I fought it once just in case I needed to.
Ah, okay.
A Boltergeist.
Bowling shirt name tag. Now I'm gonna look
Did you see what the name was?
Dan.
Hehe.
It says Dan, but that's okay because you're wearing it ironically. It goes on my lapel. Offhand.
I don't think much is gonna beat your gun manner token.
Alright, I guess moving on.
No.
Huh?
Go play billiards with the guy.
Oh, right. Challenge him to a game. Pull out your cue and the ghost nods and racks the balls. He proceeds to crush you. Something feels wrong, like your cue isn't connecting with the ball properly. Ghost shakes his head at you.
You're totally new to this, ain't you? You gotta chalk your cue.
Chalk? Can I borrow yours?
Mine's ghost chalk, wouldn't work.
Dang it. Alright, need chalk now.
Hey Max,
Yeah?
where was the chalkboard?
Oh, I know there was one, but I don't even remember where now.
Shall I tell you?
In here? Yeah, there we go. It's a big stick of blue talk. And if you want to trick someone into thinking that a sidewalk is the sky. I guess I have the chalk now.
It's all coming together.
All according to K. Calico. It's a close match. You have to consult that geometry book a few times just to work out all the so it's a good thing I had that too. Game comes down to a fight for the 8 ball, and you manage to barely squeak out the win when the ghost catches an unlucky bounce off the corner of a pocket.
Well, shucks, nice shooting, Tex.
He flips you a finger gun salute, winks, and fades into nothingness. Balls are still now. Grab the most appealing ball. 3 ball.
Wait a minute, what did that say?
Huh? The red paint on the outside of this billiard ball reacts with human blood in a way that doctors will eventually discover is extremely harmful, but which for now is blissfully refreshing. This item goes in your offhand.